Bum bum bum.
Bum 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 bum.
Do I speak now?
Yeah, you can talk whenever you want.
I
Welcome
thought we
to
were just
episode.
I
No,
thought we
you
were
you
just making a
no,
song.
you're not talking, Matt. You're not
Well,
talking. You already made that deal.
all right. See you guys.
Before we started, you said you weren't going to talk the whole time. So it's just me and Lucy here. You can add like claps, hand claps. That's it. Maybe sneeze. All right, there you go. It's like we're recording an album. So welcome to episode 9 of More Than the Score. I'm one of your hosts, Brian. That hand clap is your other host. His name's Matt. All right, you can talk.
Hey, hey everyone.
Wow. Did you lose your voice this week?
No, I was just being quiet.
Mm. That's almost like not talking, except it's failing at not talking. So
It's like if it was a pass or fail, not talking, I would fail. But
right.
maybe in a different class I'd get a C. So who
Yeah, you
knows?
could scrape out a D or a C in that.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. C is kind of pushing it.
Uh,
We also we're changing the format here a little bit. We have Lucy here with us. Welcome, Lucy.
Hello?
Usually we have a little intro where it's just me and Matt because the people love the special intimate moments between me and Matt Batson. But
mm,
we thought since it's just the three of us, we'll just go ahead and do the whole show together. And
and
we have a couple
also,
news. What?
I was also gonna say, and also since we're all talking about the same things we're talking about on More Than the Score today.
What are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about Shovel Knight on the PlayStation platforms, and we're also talking about the new Mario Kart DLC and updates.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally, totally.
Totally.
So it's like the update DLC edition, basically, of More Than a Score.
Yes, there's
Yes.
nothing really new about this episode. Well, I guess there's some new stuff in Mario Kart. There's some new tracks. So
Yeah.
that's
Also,
new.
what's new about this episode is our new little segments that we are
Oh,
introducing.
and what else is new is that Matt is getting better at transitions here. So
I'm, what happened is I went and saw Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, and that taught me all I need to know about segues. That is a double entendre.
Oh! Oh my God, that was so good. Oh my God. Wow, I am appalled. I've never been so honored to be in this chat with you.
Thank you very much.
I'm
Have a
also
good
a
all
little
week.
dis I'm also a little disgusted that you went to go see that movie.
I laughed harder than I thought I would at all.
I honestly thought you were gonna say I laughed maybe twice.
The thing is, like, the first one is just kind of a bad movie, and that's why it's funny. And then the second one embraces that, and just every shot looks weird and terrible and hilarious, and all of the character like designs and costume designs are just outrageous and like dumb. And like the movie's just really trying to be dumb, so I laughed a lot. I cried like from last year from that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
powerful stuff.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm
Did
sorry.
you never saw Mall Cop, the first Mall Cop, Paul Blart Mall Cop? With what, Kevin James? Is that who's in it?
Yeah, yeah.
No. So we
Uh,
do get all films later than you guys do, apart from Avengers, which came out this week. And
Which
that's
you
the
get
only.
early.
We got it
huh.
early. It's like the one film we got early. It was a good one, so, you know.
Jealous. Super jealous. Maybe the UK didn't get Paul Blart Mall Cop because it's such a terrible movie, or it's probably limited release or
They just
something.
don't even want it. They're just like, we're gonna ban that from here.
Do you think would they understand it? Like Lucy, do you guys have malls over there? Like the traditional like is that like a North
No,
American thing?
no, we don't call them malls, as you guys like to say. We call them shopping centers. And so,
But we
We have
like,
those too.
Yeah, we have shopping centers, but they're like storefronts, so it's multiple storefronts that
Yeah.
you park in one parking lot and then you can use a sidewalk. A mall in America is like everything's inside one big building. So
no, like,
is your shopping center in like one big building and then you have different storefronts inside?
yeah, the thing that is that I live on a tiny island, so we technically don't have any of them.
Mm-hmm.
But from memory, from when you go to England and you shop so much, it's like they're all on like different layers. You have the glass elevator going upwards, and they're really exciting.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Paul Blart Mall Cop. takes place. He's a cop in one of these shopping centers, if you will, and it's
Okay.
just a terrible plot,
Yeah,
terrible acting. The jokes are pretty subpar, and Matt
yeah,
Batson loves it.
I do. The second one's a lot better than the first one, just because it's not trying anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the last movie I went to go see and laughed till I cried was 22 Jump Street. That
Yes,
was a
that's a
while
good one.
ago. Yeah. That was a long time ago, it seems.
Ugh.
But back to these new segments that we're
Yeah.
These news,
talking
yes.
about.
Video games.
Video games,
Yay.
indeed. We've
What's...
all been playing some of those,
Yeah,
and
so
Yes, we have.
we don't have a title for this segment. We should come up with something catchy. Matt, on the spot, come up with something catchy.
uh, give me 10
You,
minutes.
you did it earlier, so I don't know why you can't do it now.
Wait, what do you mean I did it earlier?
When you had your funny little pun, your
Oh,
segue.
you only get one per show, one per episode. I'm all burnt out of gas.
Burnout of gas.
Burn out of
Uh,
gas.
so for this week, we're gonna call it "What have you been playing this week?"
The highly original
And
name.
it sounds just like, or it is what it sounds like. It's what have you been playing? So Lucy, we'll start with you since you're our guest here. For the past week or so, what have you been playing?
For the first half of the week before the Mario Kart 8 DLC came out, I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3D because it is so long, and I've been playing it for the last 3.5 weeks, and I'm
Hmm.
only 80 hours in. I was like meant to be another 40 hours still in there, minimum. I've heard some people play it for 180, 200 hours. I'm at the point where I'm like, oh, so,
Talk
and
about the burnout.
Yeah.
it's
Fun.
really good, but it's like also I feel like I'm missing out. If you know what I mean, because like Mario Kart 8, I was like, I'm gonna beat Xenoblade, it's gonna be amazing. I was like, I'm not gonna beat this game, am I? It just goes on forever. And
Right.
then like Xenoblade Chronicles Cross, not X, it's Cross. That got showed off like a couple of days ago, which was really disappointing because we thought we were gonna get a release date, and me and Courtney were hyped, and there was nothing. And then that's meant to be 300 hours, so my life has just completely gone.
Yeah, when we were selecting games to review for next month, it was my turn to choose, and I was just kind of sitting there like, wait, didn't Xenoblade just get a release date? Because like the direct was the day before. I was like, I should be able to pick this, but nope, there was nothing there, and I was super
No.
disappointed.
It's not going to realistically come out till September, October. And it'll probably come out in the UK first, so I might be able to nab it. Sorry. Yeah.
Burn, Matson, burn.
Well, I guess I'll play another Street Fighter port, which is what I selected.
Terrible choice.
Yeah.
Terrible choice.
I
I'm pretty
just felt
excited about
bad
mine.
wasting. What did you get?
I picked Project Cars, which is finally coming out.
Yeah.
It was supposed to come out like in the fall, and it's supposed to come out in April, and now it's coming out.
Like 40
in
years
May.
ago.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out like 6 generations ago, like
This was
Atari
actually-
2600 days.
This was the game developed by Ben Franklin.
This is the sequel to Pole Position on the NES. If you guys, or no, that wasn't NES. That's an arcade.
And the Wii U
long time
version
ago.
is going to come like a year later. Because the Wii U version
Yeah.
got delayed till
Right.
spring, and before that got delayed to spring, and it's just like, I don't think it's coming out anymore.
I know, poor Wii U with
I
some of these third-party games.
We
It's
have
rough out there.
It was weird. I was at a GameStop the other day, which is something I don't do.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, and I was looking over at the Wii U section, and I just completely forgot about like the random third-party games the Wii U got. Like there was a Deus Ex, Human
Yeah.
Revolution, and then like Mass Effect.
Oh, we got Mass Effect 3 like a year
Yeah.
later with no choice updates.
Yeah, it's all like just this weird stuff. Like they're like, yeah, we got something.
No, the only third-party games you need to actually care about, aside from Bayonetta, which is all like second-party,
Mhm.
is the Lego City Undercover, which is actually really fun. Like, it is the best Lego game, which is like Lego GTA. And also, Need for Speed Rivals is actually really good on it. It's like the best version. It's so much fun.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually really good on Wii U. Like,
Pro tip.
everything else you can like skip,
Mm-hmm.
but
It's good to know.
Yeah.
I'll probably buy a Wii U in like 4 years when they're super cheap and the next console is out.
Let's
That's
be
how
honest. That'll be in like a few months. Let's be honest there.
Yeah. So Matt,
Brian, what have you been
what?
playing?
Oh damn! I said your name first, so technically
Okay, do you want me to?
I had the right of way there. So you
Okay.
should tell me what you've been playing.
Well, yeah, what I've been playing a lot recently, this has been super addictive. It's the beta for the game Rocket League. Do you guys know? Are you familiar with this?
No.
No.
Okay, so Rocket League is the developer. I forget what his affiliation with it is, but Jeff Dunham, founder of Podcast Beyond, he's like the guy on this, and then he was on Kind of Funny, and they were like live streaming it and giving out beta codes. And so I got one, and this game is soccer. I'm sorry,
Oh.
football, Lucy. But
It's
with
football.
players.
It's
No,
football.
soccer predates the word football. Soccer predates. It was used in England before the word football existed. So
I know, but then we saw sense, so we changed it.
I know we had this big conversation about
Ugh.
North American and
No.
UK
No,
terms.
rugby is like, your NFL. Just like it, I find it so weird.
Ugh.
It
They
really
look-
is weird.
They look so weird though. Like they have these big shoulder pads, like these helmets, and they're like running, and they have like nothing like down by the stomach area, so like a triangle, and there's like rugby players, like proper men in their shirt,
Proper
no
men.
no
Don't slap
padding
the face.
at all. It's like
You know, Lucy, funny story about that is the football, American football, when it was created and really got popular in the early 20th century, they had like leather helmets, and
Yeah,
then they had pads on their thighs, and then they had like tiny, tiny, tiny shoulder pads, almost like shoulder pads that you'd have in like a 1980s women's
That's-
fashion,
yeah.
like a blazer, and that was it. So, you know, it used to be that real men played football,
Yeah.
but obviously now they're all a bunch of softies. Although I
Yeah.
will say I played football growing up, and it's not softies playing that sport. Let me tell you. But
yeah.
that's for a different podcast.
But anyways, back to Rocket League. It can be like 3-on-3, 2-on-2, or just a 1-on-1, and it's just like so addicting, and it's so like fast paced, and it's just a ton of fun. So I've been playing that a lot recently.
Is it 2D or is it a 3D game?
It's 3D,
Okay.
and yeah, it has like this gigantic like dome arena, and you can like go up the walls, and like it's crazy.
Well, yeah, I remember listening to Podcast Beyond and hearing about
Yeah,
that
and they
like
talked about that. That was a while ago.
5 or 6 months ago, or maybe earlier than that. And then when iDarb came out, I was trying to visualize like maybe this is what it looks like, but if it's 3D, obviously that's not what it looks like. Well, that's
Yeah,
cool.
and it looks really good, and matchmaking has been really good for a beta.
Yeah. Is it a big beta or is there pretty small?
It's pretty small. Like the promise is like I don't know, like custom cars and like all this stuff, but really it's just been like go online and join a match, and that's been what it is for the
Yeah.
beta.
That's cool.
And Brian, what have you been playing?
Oh, thank you for asking.
We were just gonna sit here in silence.
Yeah.
Well, I obviously have been playing Shovel Knight because that's
Ah.
one of the games we're here to talk about. Aside from that, I played some Crossy Road while I was on the train today because I had a lot of time. I spent an hour on the train going to pick up boxes to move, so I was playing mobile games, which I usually hate. So that shouldn't count. But other than that, it's just been NHL 15 still and Shovel Knight. So nothing too exciting. I haven't bought a new game in a long time, so
Yeah.
if you guys have any suggestions. Lucy, I know you're more of a Nintendo person, and I'm
Yeah.
not, so...
It's fine.
But I was gonna say you bought Shovel Knight. That's new.
I did, well,
Yeah.
it's new-ish. It's ish.
We had
New-ish.
it. We had it like
Yeah.
a year ago.
It's a new game that came out a year ago that is nostalgic
inferior
of
version.
games from way
guys-
back when.
Speaking of the way that you just worded that, did you read the story that I did? I did the story for like the Resident Evil remaster selling 1 million copies or whatever. So in the first line of the story, I described it as it's the HD remaster of the remake of the original Resident Evil. And when you just like look at that sentence, it's just so batshit crazy because it's
Yeah.
like it's an HD remake of a remake of a game that is almost 20 years old. And I can't believe that that exists. So anyway, whatever.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
those are the games that we've played recently. Do we want to do the second segment now, or do we want to save it for the end, or we should just go ahead and do it now?
We'll just go ahead and do it now.
Let's just get it out of the way.
So we're going to talk about some obscure, strange news in the world of gaming.
This is truly the news from nowhere, because nobody cares about this.
Nobody cares about this. It's not even on our website. Yet. Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe somebody will write about it now.
This. Yeah. But the new upcoming Pokemon fighting game, Pokken Tournament. Is it Pokken or Pokken? I've heard it both ways.
Pokken?
Pokken?
I would imagine, because Pokemon.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Jose Otero from IGN. He kept saying Pokken and it was bothering me, and then it got into my head. But anyways,
Pokemon.
The Pokemon Gengar, he's going to be in the game, and yeah, and so apparently they had a live stream last night showcasing the game, and they revealed that Gengar is going to be in the game, and he's the Pokemon. If you are familiar with him, he's Ghost type, and he's like a little, he's like Kirby, but he's evil, and he's got sonic spikes on his head. That's pretty good. I would say that's accurate.
He sounds terrifying.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
You guys, you should ask me what the last Pokemon game I played.
What's the last Pokemon game you played?
Pokemon Red.
You played the worst one.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was also like 10.
Yeah.
So
you didn't have options.
And then I didn't play anything else after that, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
One day. I find as I get older, I can't find the time to play any of these games that I want to catch up on. So I think Pokemon has sailed. That boat has sailed. That ship has sailed. That's the phrase I'm looking for. And so, Lucy, you said there's a story, a very irrelevant story that you mentioned before we started this. Do you want to share that too?
Okay, so you might have heard something in March about Conker's Bad Fur Day getting a reboot on Xbox One. Turns out that was fake, even though it had a verified sticker on Reddit. So trust that verified sticker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shame on you, Reddit.
Reddit was shamed.
Reddit more like didn't read it.
Boom! Oh!
Shots fired.
Hashtag think of a title, Matt. Hashtag think of a title.
No,
anyway,
yes.
Conker.
Yep, so it was basically a project by this guy in university, and he got told by his teacher, well, their main goal was to go viral, and the professor said that as long as nothing was illegal, they could do anything. Although he wasn't quite sure if impersonating a fake Microsoft employee is legal or not, you know, toss up. But yeah.
It's a gray moral area of impersonating someone.
On the plus side, sorry, you continue.
I was going to say, well, actually, I forget what I was going to say, so you go ahead and talk.
I was just going to say
I'm bad at podcasting.
I was just going to say on the plus side, he did get 90%, so, you know, go on, eh?
That's good. It's good that he, getting good grades there. Good, hand claps for that guy. Well, I mean, the worst thing that could happen for that situation is that a bunch of people that love Conker get their hopes up, and then now their dreams are smashed. But I don't think there are many of those people out there, so he probably doesn't have to worry.
Yeah. It's quite old, and, like, that's rare, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're, like, doing their own thing now anyway, so, you know.
Right. Now, if somebody came out and said that Final Fantasy VII was getting an HD remaster for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, then people might get pretty angry. But that has yet to happen.
You said that there's going to be a Final Fantasy VII port of the PC version on the PlayStation 4. People would probably get mad. Oh, I think that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would love if, because they still haven't said anything about it, I would love if they were secretly making an HD remaster and they were just like, we were just messing with you.
No.
I don't think they do. I don't think they do anything secretly.
Yeah.
They're a publicity hungry little group. But Speaking of things that'll never happen now, did you guys see the news about Silent Hills?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and
That's
Kojima
pretty sad.
quit it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And if you haven't downloaded PT, you have until what, Wednesday? I think it goes off
Something like that.
PlayStation Network Wednesday, so gotta get on it. Matt, have you played that?
I have played it. I played it with 3 friends, and it was a terrifying
Ooh,
experience.
spooky.
Yeah.
I haven't played it, but now I am
It
going to
is.
play it
It is like
because
horrifying. Like
yeah.
that's scared me more than any horror movie or anything that I've seen in
See,
my life.
can you fail in the game? Like, can you die? Are there like restart type?
Well, what do you know about the game? So,
Nothing.
okay, so you want to go in knowing nothing, but there is like a weird specific uh, turn of events that you have to do to get like the right ending. So in
Right.
that sense, there you can fail, but technically you can't.
Right. See, the thing with horror games for me, which is why, was it Outlast? Was that the name of the?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when PlayStation 4 said. So I played that, and the most terrifying thing about that game for me was that I didn't want to die. Dying in video games is always more terrifying to me than the content in the game. So like, falling down an endless hole in Shovel Knight is more terrifying to me than PT will be, because death is all around us, and it's terrifying. So, especially when you're a Shovel Knight.
I doubt it.
I mean,
I
what
don't. I
what
like
would
to.
you do? What would you do if you're walking up the street in real life and you find an endless pit where if you fall down into it, you die, and then your money floats up, and then you have to come recollect it? What would you do?
I mean, I would come back and recollect it once I died.
What if you died before you got back to that point, so then your money's just gone?
I would keep trying until I got it.
I
'Cause
would
that's what
spend all
Shovel
my
Knight
money.
works.
I'd spend all my money before I like fall down the hole. So there's like nothing there, and I can
You're
just go
losing
somewhere
nothing.
else.
See, this is my biggest complaint with Shovel Knight, which I get. Do you guys want to talk about Mario Kart first? Lucy, again, you're the guest, so you
And
can
we'll
choose.
talk Shovel Knight first.
All right, so my biggest criticism was Shovel Knight, and I'm one of those gamers like whenever I have money in a game, I spend it all immediately if I can. I rarely like save up for the biggest item. I just like I chip away, and especially once I found out in Shovel Knight that when you die, you lose money. So of course, economically, it makes sense to spend as much as you can. So I did that, but you still get to that point like late in a level where you have like maybe 3,000 or 4,000. Is it just gold in the game? Is it
Yeah.
ever
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you have like 3,000 or 4,000 gold, and then you get to one point that really screws you over multiple times, and it's so frustrating to lose all that money right before you finish a level.
Mhm.
And like, I guess it's genius because there's like real consequence. And the thing with Shovel Knight is it's one of those games where it's like really difficult. Like that was one of their big selling points, is that it's a really difficult retro game, which is great, but it's just so stressful. Just because there aren't many games where you lose money. They're like in Zelda, if you die, you don't lose your money. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what I related to, is every other game where you get to. So I don't know. That's really my only big complaint with Shovel Knight. Otherwise, gameplay wise, everything's great. I like the level design. I do, even the times when I died a bunch, it was because I just was missing something really obvious. Like one of the levels when you're on the guy's, I don't remember which night it is, but you're on the ship, and so you have the sections of the level where like the wind is blowing in multiple directions. Do you guys
I have
remember
not
that?
gotten
Oh,
there yet.
Propeller Knight.
Yeah, Propeller Knight. So Matt, in this level, so you enter this little area, and then the wind will blow up, and then it'll start blowing down. And they're like little blocks in the middle, so you stop yourself from hitting the spikes at the top or falling into the endless pit at the bottom. And so, I mean, that part, I guess, wasn't difficult, but it's little things like that. You just have to
Yeah.
recognize game patterns. And so I really like that. Shovel Knight is a great game if you're just a logical person. And the bosses are not super duper difficult, and I like really enjoyed the design, and like some of the dialogue is kind of
Yeah.
chuckle worthy. So I like that, and just the references to the shovel they're all just great. There's nothing better than starting a level and just saying "for chivalry," you know. Um,
And then also in the beginning when the man's like, "No weapons allowed." Oh, you just have a shovel.
Oh, that's just a shovel. And then you go on to murder
Just
countless
murder his
creatures.
family, and you're just
Yeah,
like, whoa, this
probably.
took a dark turn.
Yep. Yep. It gets pretty dark. It turns into Hotline Miami at one point with a shovel. If you keep playing long enough. Lucy, you played this game when it came out originally. Did you play it on 3DS?
I played it on Wii U because the Wii controller is pretty similar to the NES one, so
Right.
it's like it's close, and so it's like the biggest. It's like the closest you're gonna get to playing it like the way it was meant to be played.
Right.
Right.
But there's no
What did,
trophies.
yeah. What did you think about it overall?
I really liked it. It's a really good platformer. Like, it's also got really clever level design, which I didn't realize until like I was watching this YouTube video on it, and they were using that propeller night stage as an example about how like you would have to like deliberately mess up really badly to be sent all the way back down to the bottom and die for most of it, which is
Mhm.
is really good level design, and also the music is so good.
The music is so good,
Yes.
but
Let's
Brian
well,
doesn't think
let's
so.
go ahead. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that. If you guys want to take out your bats and turn me into a piñata, we can just smash me to pieces. Because I feel like that's what is about to happen. So, like Matt just mentioned, I received quite the yelling at because I told these two people who I thought were friends, you two. I mentioned that
That's
I turn off the music. I turn off the music in game, and I listen to my own music while I play Shovel Knight. And lo and behold, I was burned at the stake.
it's because it's so good. The music is so good, and it's meant for the specific stage that you're playing on.
Yeah,
So
like they're all different.
you got no excuse.
But there's only look, look. I've been playing 8-bit games for my entire life. The music all sounds almost the same after a while.
But does it?
Maybe my ears are getting old. I don't know, and I can't hear that like high pitched squeal. Like people always had that thing where they talk about old people can't hear the high pitched stuff. Anyway, that is neither here nor there. So
You,
maybe it's just
you're
that.
just hearing like the bass line of a
Yeah, I'm just
song, and you're just like, I don't understand this.
yeah, so not really, but it just like it all sounds the same to me, and I'd much rather like I don't know. I'm a big music person, even more than video games. I could talk about music for
Mhm.
for a whole podcast, and so it's nice to put on different kinds of music and play Shovel Knight instead of listening to the 8-bit soundtrack. Of course, after we had that conversation, I turned on the music and I turned off my music. And you guys are right. You guys are right. It's good. It's good stuff. But then you know what I did after 30 minutes? I turned that music off and I went right back to what I was doing. And I played better. So what
It
can
was
you say
effective.
about
It was
that,
getting in
Matt
your head.
Fatson?
Well, I mean, if your performance is going down, I mean, you had to
It's
do
all
something.
about performance.
It's all about
So
performance, prestige, and
yeah.
fine tuning.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
just
really
saying
getting off
words.
track there.
I'm just saying words.
You're just saying words. Bananas.
Bananas.
Spoons. Yeah. So anyway, there's that. Soundtrack was fine. I guess it was better than average, but it's still
What
still
is
not as good as what I
average?
was listening
Yeah.
to.
What is
What is
average?
average?
Yeah. What is your rating measured by on
Well,
good
it
music?
depends. Are we talking about original soundtracks or just soundtracks overall? Because I've always I was more of a sports gamer growing up, so I got used to games that had
Oh, like
you know
licensed
tr
music.
licensed music. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Stuff like that. Like my favorite soundtrack for game of all time was Need for Speed Underground or Dave Mirra's BMX. That game had incredible, incredible music. So
I assume that's
I
like
don't.
a lot of like
Top 10
some
soundtracks of all
some
time.
No, it
some
wasn't top 10.
Creed.
It was
You
so
got some
not top
Creed
10.
and some
Oh my
Seether.
God, no! Oh, Matt, you close your mouth, man.
That's what I
No,
assume when I hear a BMX game.
no. That was one of the first times I really started listening to Sublime is because of that game.
Okay,
So it's stuff like that. It was like the ska and like the '90s punk and that kind of stuff.
right.
But that was the same thing as like the early Tony Hawk games. Creed.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You shouldn't be talking. You really should just. Bleh.
That in like I would guess 50% of action sports games that came out on the original PlayStation and Nintendo 64, and yeah, PlayStation and Nintendo 64 have Creed in them. 50% of action sports game soundtracks.
I don't know if Creed has ever been in a sports game.
I feel like they have.
I'll Google it after we're finished. I'll Google it and find out. Or actually, while you guys are talking about Mario Kart, I'll Google it.
You
Have
don't
you
wanna
not
talk
played
about
Mario Kart?
No,
Yeah, you've never played Mario Kart 8.
I've never. Yeah, I haven't played Mario Kart 8.
Ryan doesn't have. He hates Nintendo.
I don't have any Nintendo stuff no more. So I'm a super licensed. I am a card-carrying PlayStation fanboy. So they actually sent me a little placard that says, "Hey, thanks for buying all of our consoles. Some of them twice."
I'm the bridge to this conflict. I'll end the console war.
I know nobody can see this since we just do an audio podcast, but right now, so we're in a video chat in Google Hangout, and so it's for my order, it's me on the far right, and then Matt, you're in the middle, and Lucy, you're on the left, and it's kind of like the continuum of gaming. So there's me on the right, that's all Sony. You, Matt, in the middle with your little mix.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody likes you. You're like a mutt. And then
But the
Lucy's
thing
the Nintendo purist.
If I keep my mouth shut, then both sides like me.
Or neither side likes you. Not really.
Well,
They just tolerate you.
yeah, like he's there.
Yeah, he doesn't have a backbone. He
can
can't
play
choose
our
for himself.
games.
Speaking of Sony and its consoles, though, I did also play Shovel Knight on Vita. And as much as I enjoyed playing on PlayStation 4, it is like perfect for the
Perfect on
Vita.
Vita.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't have any problems. The cross-save stuff all worked great, so I just jumped in, jumped back out. Because I was sitting right in front of my PlayStation 4 while I was playing the Vita. I just wanted to test it out. And it was all great. So, yeah.
But anyways, back to Mario Kart, since we're done talking about Shovel Knight.
Yeah, well, nobody. Do you any questions, Matt?
I mean, you kinda
Jesus,
just,
what a great interview!
you went super off the rails for our normal guidelines, and you kind of just said everything you thought about the game. So
And
we,
BMX.
We always no.
And then-
let me set the record straight here. When we do interviews, Matt,
we do ask for like a general overview, but you like said like all of your opinions about the game. I'm not sure what
Maybe
else you wanted to cover.
trying to.
And-
Well, you don't have a single question, Lucy. You don't have a question. You played it too. Ask
You
me
haven't
stuff,
beaten
guys.
it yet, so we can't.
Ouch. I've been busy. Okay, let's get sidetracked a little bit more. I'm moving Monday, and I have to pack an entire apartment, and I spent Friday night painting my new apartment. So
Painting.
welcome to
What
real
color?
life, guys.
What color?
Well, for my room, I did. It's called Whitewater, even though it's gray.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a Benjamin Moore paint.
It's more like the whitewater water parks that we have, since those are nasty and gray.
Right, exactly. Imagine the sky on a day where you look outside and it's just really crappy. That's what my walls look like now. I didn't realize that when I bought the paint. I did not know that was going to happen.
So basically, like every English sky ever.
Yes. From what movies have led me to believe, yes, that is exactly how I imagine it.
That is why we always go on holiday, because England is rainy and wet and sad.
So that's why they give you guys so much time off. Man, see,
We don't get time off. You get time off. Okay, you have like 104 days of summer vacation.
Well, that depends
What?
on
Phineas
whoa,
and
whoa, whoa.
Ferb.
district.
Okay.
That depends on which district, because some school groups get a lot of stuff off and some don't.
I don't have a summer anymore, guys. When you get outside the schooling years, your
Brian,
vacations are limited.
Brian, I feel like you're our dad right now. You're like,
I
you'll
have-
know when you're older.
I'm not saying that because I don't wish it upon anyone, but seriously, I get 16 days a year where I don't have to work, aside from weekends, obviously. But 16 days, so you talk about your summer and you get out of here.
I
No.
have 50, I think,
Better than me.
the whole year.
That is rough. Why is it so short? What is you're like Monday through Friday? What is your schedule like Monday through Friday?
I wake up at 6 a.m. on Monday, like Monday till Friday, because my bus leaves at 7 o'clock, even though my island is like 5 miles by 9 miles, and the school bus gets there at 8 o'clock. So I don't understand how that works.
Wow.
And then I get home at 4:30, and then that like repeats itself over the week.
Yeah. So that's like an American.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
our school stuff works. What do you guys like? Do you push the bus with your feet, like the Flintstones? Like, do you go
Well-
like 2 miles an hour?
Well, bus tipped over the other week, so
Oh. So
Well,
maybe
they broke the speed threshold there.
yeah.
Speaking of breaking the speed threshold in the Mario Kart update 200cc. So,
Bravo. All right, I'm gonna Google about Creed. You guys talk about Mario Kart.
Googling about
Okay.
Creed. So yeah, let's talk about 200cc in Mario Kart 8. I haven't been playing it much, but it seems like this is changing the mechanics of the racing. How do you feel about that?
Oh, well, before it's awkward because I don't have big hands and the Wii U gamepad is huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm used to holding it in a way, or like my thumb like covers over it, over the A button, because you hold it down the whole time. It's fine. However, you have to take you can't accelerate the whole time in 200cc. So I've like changed my whole position of hands, and maybe it's just like a small hand problem. It probably is, but. But no, it's really fun. It's really fast. It takes a while to get used to because the first time you'll be like hitting the walls like all the time. But-
I would go ahead.
But it's really good. It is fun.
Yeah, what I was gonna ask is this now like your preferred way to play the game? Do you like it better in this fast pace, or do you like it like in the more like 100cc, 150?
I think it depends on the track because like some of the like the F-Zero tracks like that you like they feel like they need to go fast, if you know what I mean, like they're
Yeah.
F-Zero.
Because
And then and then you have like the old like Game Boy Advance or SNES ones which require more precise turning, and you're like, oh, I probably prefer them slightly slower because I messed them
Yeah.
up on 150cc anyway. So
Yeah, that's one thing where it's kind of in the smallest way possible. This is Mario Kart dipping into more like simulation style racing
Yeah.
games where you have to use your brakes, you have to rely on
Yeah.
that, and you can't just go as fast as you can and just beat everyone. But also with the DLC, so let's talk about what all is in that. What does it include?
okay, it's confusing. Okay, so you have 8 new courses, 4 of which are retro, and then wait, what did I just have my review up? I have it listed there. Wait.
Wait, I have it up.
Brian,
I
to the
let them-
rescue.
I
I
can answer that question.
Oh, okay.
It's 8 new tracks, 4 which are retro, 2 crossover, and 2 brand new. 4 new characters, 4 new vehicles, 1 new wheel type, 1 new glider, and then if you bought the season pass, you get 8 different colored Yoshis and Shy Guys.
Brian, I think it was fitting for you to like say that stuff since you don't know what this
Yeah.
is. You just like glider, like what?
I can extrapolate. I know what a glider is. I'm not a caveman. Like, what is fire?
Well,
Yaw,
what
yaw,
do you
yaw.
think the glider looks like?
Like, how long do I have to Google this before I answer that question? I don't know. Like a vehicle with this. Does it have maybe? Is it like a skateboard, like from Back to the Future, that like floats?
No.
It's a paper aeroplane.
Whatever. That's exactly what a glider is. But I thought. So wait, are you in the air?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you can fly. Like certain
That
bits of
seems-
the
Yeah,
track.
in Mario
That
Kart 8,
seems-
you can go underwater, you can fly, there's like zero gravity stages. It's a whole bunch of crazy stuff you're missing
Yep.
out on.
So when you're using the glider, are you in a situation where everyone is in a glider?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, though
Okay.
you're at different
See,
points.
I was thinking a glider would be used in lieu of a cart, which seemed
No.
really unfair. So, anyway,
No.
continue on. Oh, by the way, Creed has never been in a video game soundtrack except for Rock Band 2, but that doesn't count because they had tons of bad songs.
Well, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah, whatever. All right, Mario Kart. Engage.
Engage, that's It's very specific.
Engage. Like I'm. It's like I'm Jean-Luc Picard. Engage. Like you guys do your thing.
And you'll just sit there. This is Mortal Kombat all over again.
Yes, it is. This is every other game every week all over again. I gotta play more video games, man.
You kind of do. Maybe
Yeah.
just a little bit.
Maybe we should start a Mong giveaway of a Wii U to me. People just donate money and then I get a Wii U.
A reverse giveaway.
It's not a reverse giveaway. You're still Mong is still
Plus.
giving it away.
Well, you said, oh, like we all the writers pitch in money to give you a Wii U. I was
Exactly.
thinking the fans, everyone,
Yeah.
the Wii's give us money.
I would never ask a fan to give me anything.
I think we have on this show before.
We've asked them to give us compliments.
We've asked for money, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's
And
you know.
I've asked for pictures of Guy Fieri through email.
You did.
Yes.
That you did.
So
Is that it?
that's
Well, now
about
we're
it.
asking for a Wii U, so if anybody wants to hit me up for a Wii U so I can talk about these games. But seriously, guys, Mario Kart. Talk about it.
I would buy you a Wii U, but it'll be pretty much useless because they're region locked. So
But then I could just get a bunch of cool UK games and just
yeah, the cool UK games at twice the price.
yeah, I could import everything. Oh, you know what else? Speaking of things that I haven't done in my ignorance for Nintendo, is that we have a banging Nintendo World Store here in New York City, and
you
I've
haven't
never
gone
gone.
yet? Ooh,
Never been
that
there.
makes me a little bit mad.
You know, the other thing is that I bet they had a super sweet selection of Amiibo when all those were coming out.
Yeah, probably.
And I said no thank you to all of those. So,
Any regret? How do you feel about Amiibo? I don't think we've ever talked about that.
Okay.
We want to
so-
talk about
that's how I feel about that
Yeah.
too.
No, okay, so here's the thing.
Well
America always had the amiibo problem, okay? We did not. It was all nice and sunny, and you could pre-order your amiibo, and you'd get them on time. It was amazing. Until Wave 3, when Americans discover that Amazon UK and Amazon Europe somewhere can ship to America. And then they started ordering their amiibo there. So they took our amiibo. And then the scalpers also discovered they could do that. So they took our amiibo as well. So now we have no amiibo. And I got sent an email from Amazon a couple of days ago saying that my Lucina amiibo is not available. And they say that they might be getting some more
Yeah.
at the end of
Whatever
June.
that means.
So I also got sent another email from Amazon saying Ness was back in stock. And it was a scalper asking for £57, which is like $80.
Yeah, definitely worth it.
Yeah. And then Amazon doesn't put it up at the same time as Game and Nintendo for some reason, because we have an online Nintendo store, not a Nintendo World store, because not everyone lives in London. And so, problem is they don't put them up when they announce them. They wait several weeks afterwards to put them up, and then they try and sell you games as well. So you can only buy Yoshi, the Yarn Yoshi plushie amiibo with the Yarn Yoshi game.
Oh.
So it's like, ugh.
Yeah, my problem with Amiibo is I feel like I am the only person that looks at them the way that Nintendo meant them to be, and that I have 3 just for Smash Brothers. It was a reason for me to go back and keep playing it and train them up until I get a new one or something.
Mhm.
And so I'm the only person using them for really the reason why they were initially invented, and I can't get any of them because of the scalpers who want to sell them again, and the people who are just collecting
Yeah.
3 or 4 of a kind.
New in box,
Yep.
opened. It's like, come on. I saw someone the NBC group posted a picture of their wall. They had 2 new in box gold Mario amiibos. I was just like, that is not fair. They didn't even get released in the UK. Do you know how much a struggle getting a gold Mario amiibo in the UK without scalping on eBay is? You have to contact Americans and offer them Little Max and
God, that's the worst, right?
Yeah.
Contacting Americans.
Honestly, though.
yeah.
Painful. We have those accents that people can't understand and
Yeah.
stuff. Oh man, it's terrible. Amiibo.
Amiibo.
Hey, do you guys remember the time that I called it Amiibos? Did you ever listen to that?
Was that when we were on the Mong podcast?
It was. It
Yeah,
was. Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
back in
I
the
will
day.
return in a second. Wait.
Oh,
Wait, how do I mute that?
Oh, we lost Lucy.
okay. So Brian,
It's
let's
okay.
talk about
Hey,
Mario
what's up?
Kart 8. So Brian, you reviewed this DLC.
Yeah, I did. I did. I played it. I played it all. I played the
You
whole
played it
DLC.
all.
hmm
What
I
did you
did.
think?
Well, first off, let me tell you how DLC works. I downloaded it because DLC stands for downloadable content,
Yes, that's right.
right? It's not dudes loving cats.
Yeah, okay.
What were you gonna say?
Chowder.
Dudes loving chowder, like New
Dudes love
England
chowder.
clam chowder, or like
Yeah,
Manhattan chowder. That's different.
either one,
Did
either
you did you
or.
know that? Did you? I never knew the difference between those two until I was like
No,
20.
you literally just explained that to me, but I still don't know what the difference between them is. I just know that there is a
Oh,
difference now.
okay. Well, Manhattan chowder is tomato based.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so it's like, different
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
all tomatoey.
Chowders.
Just
Yeah, so I
go
what?
ahead. I'm going
Well,
more sidetracked.
get more sidetracked.
I was gonna say, about like 6 months ago, I started liking tomatoes.
You didn't like tomatoes previously?
Yeah, I feel like some tragic childhood story happened to me involving a tomato where I just didn't eat them and I hated them.
Did you perform poorly on a stage and people threw rotten tomatoes at you, and since then you've
Maybe.
hated tomatoes?
And I was like, oh, they taste so horrible. And I think like it was like in a salad that I got or something, and I didn't
hmm
realize it. And then I ate it, and I was like, this doesn't taste bad. Why am I afraid of tomatoes? And that's what
You know,
happened.
in the South, tomatoes are really popular in the Southeast, and
Mhm.
like because lots of people grow them there, and so you get fresh tomatoes. And a popular way to eat them there is to cut them open fresh, and then put a little bit of salt on them, and then you just eat a salted tomato, and it's really good.
Lucy's back, and she's very confused.
Oh wait, you're from the South, Matt. What am I
Yes, I am.
talking
Why
about?
are you explaining this to me?
Well, I'm from more South than you, so I don't know, but I mean,
Where
do
are
you
you
guys do?
from in Alabama?
It's this town. Oh, I don't know if I want to say.
Okay, yeah. Tell me.
It's like an hour north of Panama City, Florida.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you are
So
definitely a lot more
yeah,
south.
we're just north of it. I'm pretty much south of everything in the United States except
Mhm.
Florida, which is actually north. Yeah. It's funny with Florida. The farther south you go, the farther north it feels until you get to Miami.
What?
You've never heard that saying before?
No, I've never heard that saying before.
Lucy, you're about to get a little American geography. So, in the southeastern United States, you have the classic southern states, the proper Alabama, the less than proper Georgia, and
Thank you very much.
the crap hole that is Mississippi.
Wait, is
And
Texas not in the South?
Texas
Texas
is kind
is
of
its
its
own
own
thing.
entity.
Yeah,
Yeah, they tried to be their own country at one point, and
yeah.
they're a mix of like the West and the South, and it's
And
just
Mexico.
in Mexico. But Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia have similar cultures. So, but south of all of that is Florida, and in Florida,
There's Disney
the
World.
there is Disney World, which is fantastic. The northern part of Florida feels closer to the south culturally than central and southern Florida. So central Florida feels more like the north, where all the Yankees reside, my kin,
Yes.
um,
I was gonna say
because
that
all
makes
the
sense now.
retirees.
Yes,
Yeah,
because that's where they move. Okay, yeah.
right. And so there's the saying is that the farther south you go in Florida, the more it feels like the north. Anyway, let's talk about Mario Kart again since this is fun.
Mario Kart.
Oh yeah, sorry I disappeared. What happened is that Game of Thrones went on 4 minutes ago, and I remembered I did not record it, and it's 2 a.m. over here because I'm hardcore Game of Thrones, and otherwise the people on my bus will spoil it because they stay up, and
Uh-oh.
so I kind of get forced into it.
Gotcha. Well, let's hurry on and wrap this up and get you out of here so you can watch some Game of Thrones.
You can watch the throne, as they like to say.
All right, Jay-Z or Kanye. I don't know which one you prefer. So, Matt, do you have any more questions for Lucy about Mario Kart?
I kind of just wanted to talk about the new content. And so they introduce the new tracks. Are they a part of a cup in the game? They
Yeah,
introduce
there
a new cup?
is the Leaf. I'm not entirely sure what it's called because they already have the Leaf Cup.
Mhm.
It's some random Animal Crossing cup, which contains the best named Mario Kart track of all time because they named the Animal Crossing track Animal Crossing.
Oh,
They were
whoa.
That
very
sounds like
original.
something I would do.
So yeah, it was
Let's.
quite.
That reminds me. Let's name that segment in the show Animal Crossing, where we talk about the games
The
that
games that
were.
we played. All right,
All right.
deal done.
Okay. But back to the cup and the new tracks. How do you think that stacks up in comparison to the original tracks and then also the DLC that was introduced last year?
November.
Yeah.
Um, Now the thing is that if you're looking at these reviews and comparing them to the Mario Kart 8 ones, like the original Mario Kart 8 one, with
Right.
the scores at least, because this is more than the score, we may as well talk about it, is that I didn't
Nice.
review the original Mario Kart 8 for long because I wasn't there at the time. And the thing is, I think I have a higher opinion of Mario Kart 8 than Lou does. Because for me, I would have rated it higher, so I had to like shift all my scores down.
Mhm.
Like, because it would be so awkward if the DLC scores were above like the original scores. Um,
Right.
so like, I think that the Zelda DLC pack actually probably had some of the best tracks in the game, like overall. Because like the problem when you have like your 32 Mario Kart tracks is like you have like a couple of like really good like gems in there which are really good, and like the rest of them there's so much like filler, and for some reason they always seem to be in the Star Cup. Um, I liked this. Like I preferred the Animal Crossing track to the Zelda track,
Mhm.
and I really like what's it called? Where is it? Um, Wildwoods. I really like that, and I really like Big Blue. But aside from that, they were sort of like they're like usual sort of thing. Meanwhile, the first DLC pack had more standouts. Like Dragon Driftway was amazing. The first F-Zero track, Excite by Karina, Hyrule Circuit. I'm trying to think of the names
Mhm.
on the spot, but yeah, it is. It has got some really good tracks in there, which I feel that if you don't own if you don't own the DLC for Mario Kart 8, it's like you really are actually missing out.
Yeah.
Like you should own the DLC. It's like £10, $13, I think, which is like 4 cups of like tea or coffee. So it's like
Just skip those and
skip
get
those
how-
and
the
buy the
DLC.
DLC.
That's how I'm gonna start comparing price for everything in America. Yeah, this video game is like 14 cups of coffee, so you might as
Skip
well
it for
buy
2
it.
weeks.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I wanted to also ask, going back to the 200cc and then also the new tracks introduced, did it feel like they were sort of developed side by side? Like, do these tracks feel like they were meant to be played in 200cc? Is it the best tracks for them?
I'd say Big Blue is probably the best track overall to play in 200cc because of the speed. I wouldn't say the Animal Crossing one was developed with it in mind because all sorts of obstacles and you have like trees, like it's a bit where you have to weave in and out of trees, and so that was quite hard in 200cc. Um, I think most of them were quite loopy and quite turny, so I guess they were in a way, but I think that most of the tracks probably got designed before they thought of 200cc because it's like
Mhm.
they were like probably using most of the time to do the tracks because
Right.
like it took them 8 years to make Mario Kart 8, and so the tracks take an awful long time to like develop and perfect, and that's why we kind of have more retro tracks this time around because of time scale and stuff, and just
Since this is an audio podcast, I looked at Brian's face and he started like swaying side to side, so I started doing it too. Lucy noticed, she started doing it. We're just kind of having a dance festival here.
We're just having fun.
yeah.
What more than the score is all about, just having
More than the
fun.
score. It's giving us all the vibes that we got going on.
Yeah, totally.
But back to Mario Kart, a thing that we've been saying a lot lately.
Because we are so on topic.
Yes, we are. I wanted to talk about Nintendo's approach to DLC in general. So this is the second piece of DLC for Mario Kart, and it seems like this is the second time that they've gotten DLC right again, and it's still sort of a new thing that Nintendo's doing with it. But this is my opinion. I feel like what they're doing with Smash Brothers is kind of the opposite. Like
Cheap.
they're giving us, yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you think Nintendo's heading in a good direction with DLC? Or do you think that the Smash Brothers thing is showing maybe not so much?
The problem you have with Nintendo, which I don't think Sony or Microsoft deal with, is that so many of their investors had been there for such a long, huge amount of time. And for those that know, Nintendo's like a 200-year-old, 125-year-old company. They're not that old. And they used to make toys and Hanafuju cards, which are these weird card things, before they made video games. And so a lot of their investors are still there from when they were in the toy business. And they don't know that much about video games. And so they often, a lot of them say some rather stupid stuff. And it is quite worrying, actually, as a Nintendo fan, because
Right.
Iwata, for all the flack he gets, he actually is like the only thing from stopping Nintendo pretty much from like selling out. Because I remember last year there was a story about one of the developers thinking, well, imagine Mario on mobile and you could pay 99 cents to make him jump higher. And it is worrying, especially with the whole mobile thing. But
Yeah.
I feel like with the Mario Kart 8 team, because I feel like they're like really well respected because they've been doing it for so long. That everyone's like, okay, do your thing, you'll sell it, it's all great. And it was also cross with Zelda, so I think they got lots of pre-orders. But then, because Nintendo's DLC sort of swaps, because like Mario Kart is the first thing which has had DLC. Like Pikmin 3 had it, Fire Emblem had it,
Right.
Super Mario Bros. 2 had it, some other stuff. And like you find that while there's like for every like good bit of DLC, there's also like a cheap like costume thing.
Hmm.
But the Smash Bros. Stuff is worrying.
Yeah, that is like exactly what you said with the cheap costume thing. Just hey, instead of playing as some of these characters, just play as the Mii fighter with these costumes. It's the same thing.
Yeah, and also it's really expensive in the UK because it's like £1.99 per costume,
Yeah.
which is like $3.50. Like seriously, that's like a third of the price. No, it's not even a third. That's a 20th of the price of the game. It's like one of these costumes, and there's 10 of them. So if you buy all of them, you've pretty much spent half the money you spent on the game on the costumes.
Brian, you look like you were about to say something.
No, I mean, I always look like that, but no, that's just insane. I mean, that's something that you don't have to be a Nintendo fan to understand about how
Yeah.
bad DLC can work,
Yeah.
but I'm not very sensitive to Nintendo's DLC practices, so it's
Yes.
kind of
You
interesting
are.
to hear about. Yeah, well, for good reason it seems, because
Yeah.
it seems kind of insane.
Hmm.
But I mean, there are bad DLC packs out there, but it seems like
Yeah.
it's publisher to publisher. Unfortunately, Nintendo oversees all of its games, so they all have bad DLC
Yeah.
prices and whatnot. I guess not all of them. So this Mario Kart 8 DLC is reasonably priced, correct?
Yeah, that is really well priced because if you buy the season pass, which is I'm just gonna go with English prices because it's
Go for it.
£10 for the season pass. Okay, that gets you 16 new tracks, 7 new characters, technically 6, but they give Villager Boy and Villager Girl,
Mhm.
but they count as one. I count it as 2. They give you 8 new vehicles, 2 new world types, 2 new gliders, and 8 different colored Yoshis and Shy Guys, which I actually love because I love Yoshi. But yeah, that is like so much content. Like the 16 tracks alone are like half the game's worth of tracks, and that's for a quarter of the price. And they're also really good. It's like it is good value.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I don't
makes-
understand how they have such good value for these Mario Kart DLC packs and then terrible for other games. What's the deal?
It's because I think Mario Kart 8. Wait, I might just Google this quickly because I don't want to sound like a complete idiot. But because like Nintendo's got they've got the weirdest company names. They're called like Section 1, Section 2. Okay, yeah. So this is just made by EAD Tokyo, which is basically like their main group. And then Smash is developed by HAL Laboratory, who are the guys who make the Kirby and stuff like that. They also worked on Earthbound. And so I think it's on a developer by developer basis. It's like Sakurai spoke out about how he was like he had to really think hard about it, which made it feel like he got pressured into it. Because Smash is such like a big thing, and like people play Smash for years. Like Melee is still being played in tournaments. And so they thought maybe, hey, look at all these fighting games. They give out costumes and they make so much money. Look at Mortal Kombat X giving easy fatalities. Let's do the same. Meanwhile, like Mario Kart's, but like if you burn people on Mario Kart, because it is pretty much one of the biggest franchises. It sells really well, and then you don't want to burn this like audience who will continue to play it. Meanwhile, Smash, you can be a bit more like, I think like you have to be more careful with Mario Kart 8 because like they'll leave, like the people that play it online will leave much more easily than the Smash players because all the professional guys and.
Well, and with Smash 2, with the professional guys, there's also like the big thing is like people are committed to like Melee or Project M, and they don't want to play Smash 4. They're too committed and focused to training and sharpening their skills in the other games. So then if this game doesn't fit what their ideals are for Super Smash Brothers, then they're going to drop off too.
Yeah.
But also I wanted to say with the Super Smash Brothers thing, I think this is also a problem with the DLC, is the director Sakurai, I just think he's crazy. He's crazy and he hates the fans. And I think like one of the things that I always point out, like when I think about this, is like the characters in the game. He literally puts in characters that he creates and wants in the game. Like this isn't a fan feedback thing, which is also concerning for their proposed DLC of asking the fans who they want as DLC characters. I don't think that they're telling the truth about that. I think Sakurai is just going to get that and just be like, nope, you get this guy instead. Let's get another costume for Pit, and that's going to be a character.
No, and also the thing with the Selector Smash Bros. Character, which nobody seemed to have touched on apart from that one news story. They were sort of like Nintendo sort of like squeaked it out. If the character you want to be in Smash is a support trophy, which is pretty much everyone people want, so Waluigi, Skull Kid, Toad I don't think you can get in either. All of them you can't put in because they're not going to change the support trophies, and then it's like you can't get Chrom either. It's like it's this really weird thing where you have to either go for really obscure guys or guys which will probably never get in. Like some people are asking for like Snake again, which is not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not.
You're not kidding. He didn't belong there in the first place.
And it's like Phil Spencer being like, hey, put Banjo-Kazooie in Smash. It's like, no, we're not going to give you free advertising for another bad Banjo-Kazooie game. Sorry.
I mean, I'm a little bit offended because I am a original Banjo-Kazooie fan. But
Oh, no, not the first. No, not the first two. The third one.
They have.
Nuts and Bolts was terrible.
Okay.
The first two are fine.
Yes. Okay. Clearing that up. And then also another crazy thing that.
God, how many questions do you have, Matt?
Is also
we talked about Game of Thrones like 15 minutes ago.
What?
Lucy has missed 20 minutes of Game of Thrones.
No, it's fine though because we have adverts which play like every 5-10 minutes, so it's fine.
She can skip them.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go, Brian. You jerk.
I'm just looking out for our friend here. Okay.
You don't want her to miss the throne.
Yeah, it's important. All right, Matt, ask your questions.
No,
I do feel like a dad right now.
You really?
Lucy's got to run. She's got to go home. She's got to do her thing. Matt, go ahead and ask your last questions. We're on a time schedule here.
I don't want.
We can go get ice cream afterwards, Matt. Okay.
Promise.
I promise. One topping though. That's it. One topping.
I want 3.
No, you get 1.
No,
Three's
how
too
many
much.
scoops?
Yes, how
2,
many scoops?
obviously.
Ask
2 is
the
obviously
questions.
the answer.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 scoops.
We've got
In a cone. Okay. Ask your questions.
I honestly don't remember what I was going to say anymore.
Good. That was the point of all that. So
It was
now
all a
that that's
distraction.
accomplished.
It was a clever
Yep.
ruse.
That's my nickname.
Curse you, Brian.
Clever Brian. Clever Ruse Hurst. That's not real. Nobody's ever called me that.
No.
No.
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
thanks for listening to the show. Lucy, thanks for being on the show.
No problem. Thanks for
Yeah.
having
Thank
me.
you so much, Matt. I was actually thinking we could let Lucy go and then we'll do the outro.
Okay, that works.
Because I want to talk your ear off about some more stuff. So I don't want to make Lucy sit through. I'm gonna tell you the entire soundtrack to Dave Mirra BMX.
Okay, that
Um,
works.
so just saying.
Do I say bye now?
Well, you can. I mean, if there's anything else
If
you want to
wanna know
add,
the soundtrack too.
yeah. I mean, you can stick around if you want. It's up to you.
Honestly, I think
The-
it's probably best if I go because I need to watch Game of Thrones and they have to sleep. They have to go to school. Which will
Yeah.
be fun.
So you're on a tight schedule here. So
Yeah.
it's only 9 o'clock in the U.S. So we have
Yeah.
lots of time.
Yeah. Sadly, UK's a bit ahead.
Yeah.
See, I'm like in the future.
She is in the
Yes, you
future.
are. Oh, we're talking to the future, Matt. Lucy, what's it like on Monday? It's Monday morning there. What's Monday like?
It's dark.
Monday's gonna be dark, Matt.
I'll bring my flashlight. Now we know.
Yeah. Do I just say?
Matt, can I tell you before you leave, Lucy? Matt, I want you to know, 2 a.m. every Monday for the rest of your life is gonna be pretty dark.
Really?
Just so you know. Yeah.
One day when
You're
the
in the
sun
North Pole.
explodes, Brian. When the sun explodes
When the sun
and the
explodes.
atmosphere
we'll
is
feel
all
it.
melted.
We'll be dead before you
Yeah.
actually know that happens. So that's depressing. Okay, Lucy, thank you so much.
Thank
Come
you
on.
for having me.
You're always welcome back. Next time you review a game or just want to talk about stuff, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just demand
Go
to
enjoy.
get on the show, and you'll probably be here.
Yeah. Go enjoy Game of Thrones. We'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Do I just press the hang up button? Or?
Yeah.
Oh,
You can
yes,
there you go. Oh, she's
There
gone.
she goes.
So let me tell you, the soundtrack to Dave Mirra BMX, and this is why it's my favorite. It has 10 songs because back then you could only fit
Okay.
like 10 songs on the soundtrack. Sublime.
Nice. Okay.
Do you want the band and the song? No, I'll just do the bands.
Just
I'll
do
just
the
do the
bands.
bands. Sublime, Cypress Hill, Rancid, Social
Okay.
Distortion, Deftones, Pennywise,
This is nice.
Dropkick Murphys, and then there are three that I don't really recall: Primer 55, 59 Times the Pain, and Swingin' Utters. Swingin' Utters
Swinging
is
at
a
it.
pretty great name.
Yeah.
But yeah, those 7 other bands are legendary, and so
Yeah.
that's
If I would have kept going on that list, I probably would have gotten Rancid like around like 5.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's the best. So anyway, but now Rock Band 2 is now my favorite because it has Creed, has Higher. Can you take me higher think that's how it to a place where blind men see?
This is the best part of the show.
Yeah. I heard that song so many times on the radio when it was popular that the lyrics have been stuck in my head forever. I actually went to go see a show last night.
Yeah.
I went to go see
saw
The
your-
Used.
Yes, my
Yeah.
girlfriend is a big fan of them.
Really? That she
Yes.
has great taste. My roommate is a big fan. She was actually fun. This is a fun story. My roommate is friends with a bunch of musicians and bands and stuff in New York. And one of the bands that she's friends with was going on tour, and they were doing like a 2-legged tour where the first leg they were driving out to the West Coast and they were headlining really small little club shows.
Mhm.
And then they were going to meet up with The Used, and they were going to be an opener for The Used.
Nice.
So yeah, so she got to, I don't know how many shows they did, but it's at least 6 or 8, I imagine, shows with The Used. So she got to like hang out and get to know like Burt McCracken and Quinn Allman and Dan Whitesides, and then the bassist whose name I don't remember. And I haven't listened to The Used in like at least 5 or 6 years. Like they've had 3 albums that came out that I've never listened to. But she asked me, she had an extra ticket, so she asked me if I wanted to go. So I was like, of course, because it's any band, and plus I used to like them a lot. So we went to go see them last night. And it turns out like half of their set list is from their first 2 albums, which I totally love. And so it was a great, great night. Fun story. There you have it. There's the fun story.
The end.
Yep. So, woo! All right, we can go now. I'm done.
Yeah. So you want to wrap stuff up?
Yeah,
Let's wrap it up.
Do you wanna wrap stuff up?
Like actual like I was talking about gift wrapping. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking off the microphone to someone else. As a person.
Off camera. Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah, no big deal.
That's good to know. Okay, well, have fun wrapping stuff. Is it like early Christmas? Is that the kind of wrapping that we're talking about?
No, like hip hop, like hardcore gangster rap.
Oh, like rapping.
Yeah, like hey, you want to wrap stuff up?
Wrap stuff, but no, it still just sounds like you're either making a mummy or wrapping a present. So, do you want to wrap this mummy up or what?
That's the name of the song that I'm gonna rap.
Wrap my mummy.
Wrap my mummy.
Yep. That wow. I think we just outdid ourselves on that one.
Yep.
That's rap. I can't even say it.
Okay. Well, thank you for listening to episode 9 of More Than the Score. Episode 10 will be next Monday, and we'll have some people on there that'll talk about games, but they won't talk about the score. They'll talk about more than the score.
Correct.
And that's all that we know, and that's all that you know.
Yeah. So we'll figure that out this week, and then we'll talk to people, and then we'll have their people talk to people, and then their people will talk to them, and then. But anyway, this week we, as you heard, we had Lucy on here talking about all the fun stuff in Mario Kart 8's DLC pack and the 200cc mode and all that high flying action, and she still remains to be she still remains to be the most knowledgeable Nintendo person I know, which is pretty impressive.
If they call Lou the Nintendo Ninja, then Lucy is the Nintendo Samurai. Just thought of that.
Yes.
Just thought of that.
That's pretty good. You should tell her that, actually. She'd be honored to be
We'll do that after.
Nintendo Samurai.
Yeah.
After we wrap it up.
After we wrap this mummy up.
Yeah, so you can actually, Lucy was on Twitch earlier this week playing Mario Kart 8, so you can maybe catch her there this week if she's still doing that on the Mong Twitch account, which is twitch.tv/MongPlays. Other ways to
watch Brian play hockey on there.
You know, actually, side note, Jason did we talk about this last week? No, this happened this week. Jason is the latest of the losses at Mong. So we've lost another brother in video games. He has decided to move on.
Is it just you and Ryan?
So it's just me and Ryan, and then we didn't do it this week, partly because I'm moving and stuff, and then because we lost Jason, so we're just emotionally distraught.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hopefully we'll continue playing NHL in the future. I can't promise that, but if not, I like the idea of a weekly set time kind of game streaming thing. So if NHL ends, I might seek out new gaming partners for some kind of thing. So stay updated, or I'll keep you updated.
You have a potential one right here.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I'll keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind.
I will. Other ways you can contact us. You can send us an email over the interwebs at contact.mong@gmail.com. It's the same that it's always been. It's the same that you've never sent us an email because you all
that we know of
don't like. Oh, that's true. We still don't know. We still haven't actually asked Courtney if he's checked the email. So let's add that to the list of things to do after we finish.
If you do, put in the subject line, Courtney, this isn't for you. This is for Matt and Brian.
But maybe he just reads like 3 words at a time, and he'll just say, Courtney, this isn't.
And he's like,
well, that's weird.
Well, it definitely isn't, so I should move on.
Yep, and then he just sends it straight to spam. So maybe you should just tweet at us, because I would see that, because you can see who tweets at other people. So you can tweet at us at mong.com, spelled out DOTCOM. You can watch all of our videos on YouTube at youtube.com/mongplayz. twitter.com/Mong Network. The Facebook, the Tumblrs, and the Instagrams all have similar Mong Middle of Nowhere Gaming names and stuff like that.
If you try, you'll find it.
Yeah, if you wish it so, it will happen. It's like Cinderella. If you want it hard enough, you'll lose a glass slipper and then be famous and stuff.
Yes.
I think that.
That's the genie.
You could you rub it 3 times. You can come to our website at middleofnowheregaming.com. Make sure you do the http:// to get there before, because that's important in your URLs. So yeah, come to middleofnowheregaming.com for all of our stuff and reviews and things. Lucy's Mario Kart DLC review is up. I actually edited it earlier and it's great. So that'll be live by the time this goes live. So read that. I'll hopefully have a Shovel Knight little mini thing. I'm not doing a full review because they already reviewed it last time. So this is just a little brief
little update.
thing.
You play this should have been a question. You play the Kratos thing?
I have
Kratos yet?
No, I have not.
Oh, you got to do that, and because that's new, you should put that in.
That is new. Yeah, I need to. Is that the only thing that's new for the PlayStation stuff?
There's other DLC that they added into, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
Yeah, this whole moving thing kind of threw me off. I should have done all that before we talked about it, but maybe we'll just mention it in the intro next time. We can have a finish. Yeah. You can actually think of some questions.
For once.
How about that? What a novel idea for a podcast.
A what?
A what? So, Matt, what's your Twitter account?
My Twitter account is @_mbatson.
Yes,
Brian, what is your Twitter account?
My Twitter account is @elpadreoso. Are we friends now? Did we just become best friends?
Did we just be best friends? Huh?
Did we just stumble over phrases? I think we should call this a night because.
Also, Lucy's Twitter is @BlueFox2000 with O's instead of zeros.
It's 2000.
Yes.
2000. You can put that in your rap song, mummy rap song.
I'll sample that. That'll be part of the beat.
Oh. Cool. Do you have anything else to add before we shut this down? I have my cursor hovering over the stop broadcast, so you call it. I'll do it.
I feel like I'm in Die Hard right now.
I feel like a speck of dust is gonna fall in the most extreme way and just like click my trackpad, and it's just gonna end it all.
Oh no!
This is like Speed.
This is heavy.
Yeah. You have to keep talking on this podcast, or they're all gonna die.
I am Jason Statham.
No, wait. Who was in Speed? Was that Keanu Reeves in Speed?
Yeah, I was thinking of Crank.
Yeah. Well, same idea. You got to keep moving, or they all die.
You have to keep doing crazy action sequences, or the movie ends.
I assumed, by the way, that Crank was about like crank, like drugs. And it's like, what is he just endlessly has to do drugs or else people die? Because I'm like, he's going to die that way. That's not healthy.
Yeah. So all of us here at More Than the Score, we wish you the very best, Jason Statham.
Totally.
Just
Don't do crank.
End it there.
All right. I'm going to end it there. I'm actually
this part.
Nope. This is all going to stay in. So.
Cut from right here.